Testing 1, 2, 3 audio check. Okay, let's see if we can get some audio working the way it needs to be tonight. Testing 1, 2 audio check. Okay. kind of jacked up. Let me fix that. All right. Okay. Whoops. And I've already knocked a Dragonborn off a mount. Ugh. It's going to be one of those evenings trying to get on the struggle bus with painting minis. I bought this stuff called Plastic Magic because somebody said, hey, this stuff works great. Yeah, I don't know what you're gluing together, but it doesn't work that well with miniatures. As you can see, I'm just going to break out the super glue and quit cussing this stuff, because that's what's about to happen otherwise. Okay, where did I put the super glue? And my super glue is like super adhesive shut. So of course there's never a dull moment. There we go. So I wanted to revisit the Elven minis from the other night because I've got 4 of them I'm painting. And then, glutton for punishment that I am, I bought a few more minis. So there we go. Those are sticking good. I bought 2 Dragonborn because I've not had any Dragonborn in my mini collection. And I thought it was time to add some Dragonborn. And then I bought a Iron Golem just because he looks so badass. And he called to me on the shelf. So, and I've got a Husky here in my visual range here. So y'all bear with me for a second while I try to get my glasses and my headset just so right. So that things aren't making me batshit crazy tonight. Okay. Where were we? Let me bring up and make sure Camera Hub is running so that my prompter is doing its thing. Oh, it's telling me my channel's not found. That's fine. We will try to address that. Nope, channel's not going to play nice tonight. Okay, screw that. We will just keep chat open on a second monitor. Alright, elves. My Targaryen-looking motherfuckers. Let's see. I need a nice base coat brush. That's a fine detail brush. There we go, base coat. That's what I was looking for. I want to do the terrain under their feet. Let me see what touch-ups I want to do. I'm actually kind of content with them. So I think... Okay, we've got to do the underside of somebody's cape here. Who was it? You're good. You're good. Okay, I guess I got all of their capes on them. Alright, so let's just do their terrain and get them looking good. Where are my paint trays? Sorry, I kind of jumped online in a hurry tonight, y'all. There is a paint tray. That'll work. Let's get a little bit of green terrain going. Feywild Emerald. Troll Skin. Let's go with a little Treyant Green. For some terrain. So I built a quick little one-shot adventure the other night for some were-rats. So we got some were-rat battle music playing tonight, just for kicks and grins, courtesy of Sirenscape. So I figured I'd paint to that. I was looking for some good rat miniatures, like a swarm of rats and whatnot. Haven't quite found what I'm looking for yet. Maybe because I'm being extremely picky, I don't know. And I need to get my 3D printer back online. It's been hell trying to get it up and running again. But I've not given up hope. But I am getting to the point where I think it's probably time to order parts. We'll see. I'll spend some more time with it later this week and see if I can get it online, or if it's going to be time to break down and spend some money on parts. The thing is, the printer's only a little over a year old, and I haven't used it in 6 months. The only thing I did was relocate it from my home office here in the studio to the media center station in my dining room. Kind of sits between my dining room and my living room, just to free up some room in my office, and also get it someplace where when it's running that the fumes from the resin aren't trying to kill me, because it does require some good airflow. Resin printers can be a bit stinky, shall we say. So, but anyways, so it's out in the dining room / living room area now, and I'll deal with it here in the next day or two after work to see if I can get it to resume printing. So I also pulled down some Cobalt Press adventures the other night. I downloaded Prepared 1 and 2 to give me some basic quick game one-shot type games for doing some play testing. And so I've got those downloaded along with a bunch of other free content from Drive Through RPG. So I'm getting some small mini games ready for some play tests with some new players. And so I am forming up a second group. And that second group will consist of 5 players along with 2 alternates. So that if somebody has to be absent, one of the alternates hopefully can step in and fill their shoes temporarily. Alright. So Elves terrain is done. You know what? Since I'm in the terrain painting mood, let's go ahead and start with the terrain underneath the Iron Golem. Let's go ahead and make use of this while we got it, right? Big old base coat brush and some green paint. I really am not a fan of these clear bases. I wish they would go back to being the same colors as the minis. But that's just me being particular about things. And I'm going to need some more green paint here momentarily. Alright. Let's set him aside. I need a little bit more green paint. Let's do these 2 Dragonborn. You know, I think the thing is once I added some Tabaxi to my collection of minis, it's like, okay, what else do I need? Okay, I saw the Dragonborns in the shop, and I'm like, okay, I need some Dragonborn, because I don't have any Dragonborn minis. So, I got plenty of elves, humans, dwarves for days. Decided it was time to add some Dragonborn to the fray. Let me drop back the were-rat battle music just a tad. Sometimes I can get a little heavy-handed with these paint brushes, but that's what additional coats are for, is to clean up mistakes. And then, you know, obviously use a finer detail brush when you got to get in there and do the small stuff. Okay. 1 Dragonborn base. Let's do the second Dragonborn space. So the question becomes, what color are we going to paint our Dragonborn? We'll get to think on that here soon enough. Alright, bases are colored in. I really want to focus on the Iron Golem tonight, aka the Iron Giant. All that armor. He needs an armor color. Okay. So we want some silver and we want some mithril, is what it speaks to me. There is the mithril. And here comes the silver. Let's start out with the silver for his armor, shall we? And that silver does look like it might need to be mixed a little more, even though I just shook it really, really good. It is what it is. Okay. Woo, my goodness. That is some strong smelling silver paint. Paint fume's going to get to me tonight, my friends. Alright, I know I'm just applying a massive amount of silver paint to him, but hey, he's covered in armor, so why not? Get a good base coat on, I always say. Once you've got a base coat on, you can come back and fine tune. Like I might give some of his sections maybe some brown leather look to it. And his joints might be some brass color. But we can always do all that after the fact, right? Now what is this weapon he's carrying? Because it's definitely not a sword. It looks more like a giant machete. So I've got to think about how I'm going to do that. Get up under them shoulder greaves. Alright. He definitely looks nice and vicious. Alright, let's take a look at our Dragonborn. What kind of weapon is he carrying? It has almost like a dragon tail type design to it, whereas this other dude's carrying a more traditional bladed weapon. Okay. There we go. And a shield, which I almost want to do on a bronze color. Okay. Somebody's going to get the red dragon treatment here out of these two Dragonborns. Probably going to be that one without the and then this other one may be more of a black. Although I don't know. I like his cape. Maybe we'll do him in... No, I don't want to overdo the silver tonight. It requires some thought here. He has a very intricate shield design. They both do. So I really want to try to do some justice with those. Alright, let's see. Let's start out with the shield. Do I have a brassy color in my collection? I do. I have a brass. Which probably needs to be stirred vigorously before it's used. Okay, so the paint card for the Dragonborn shows the dragon himself a brassy color and his shield a silver. You know what? I can roll with that. Let's get in here and see what I can do. this will be kind of cool looking. Alright, so his arms are brassy colored, including his hands. All the way to the shoulder and his neck area. Let's get the underside of his arm and his fingers on his hand. Now his shoulder pad is going to be a different color. Let's get the top of his head. He is going to be a rather distinguished, provided I can speak, looking fellow. And that is okay with me. I'm going to tell y'all right now, my minis don't look as good as something that's professionally painted. But then again, this is for my hobby. And I make it the best I can. And go from there. So, I need to get under his chin a little more. Feel good about the rest of his head. Now we got to get this other arm that is carrying the shield. And he has a shoulder plate on. And does he have a glove on? Oh, I'm getting the dropsies. Never good. Does he have a glove on that arm, on that hand holding the shield, or is that just his natural claw? I'm going to say it's his natural claw. So we're going to come out and do his wrist and his fingers in this brass color. Now, of course, this is a little overpaint here, but we've got to do the interior of the shield, so that's fine. Now, his armor is almost like a bluish steel color. And he does have what looks like a skull cap on. So we're going to do that in probably a bluish silver. And I just stuck my hand in fresh paint like a dummy. Let me touch it. Okay, so that's going to be a badass looking. Let me try to angle him good for y'all. That's going to be a badass looking Dragonborn when he's done. So we're going to try to get him real good. Okay. Let's circle back and touch his shield a little bit, since I still have some silver here that hasn't dried out on my paint tray. Okay. Let's try to get his shoulder plates now. There we go. We got his shoulder plates done. Alright, his skull cap is done. Shoulder plates and shield, although his shield needs to be decorated. He's got a dragon emblem on his shield. I think we're going to come back and do that in black. We got to let him dry though. Let's take a look at our other Dragonborn. Again, we have a silvered shield. I'm probably going to have to break out more silver paint here momentarily in order to accommodate this. His shield is almost the shape of a dragon's wing. So I made some carrot cake cupcakes for the dogs this evening. And so after dinner, which we had chicken and steak tonight, both grilled. And so the dogs got plenty of that, let me tell you. But afterwards, Carmen goes over to the counter where the cupcakes have been sitting, where I had basically, when they cooled, I iced them and just left them sitting on the counter. And so she's patiently pointing out to me that, hey, there's dessert here, and I am still hungry. So I had to get 3 little plates out and give each of the dogs their own cupcake this evening. Because why not? They are spoiled after all. So they each got a pup cake, as we call them, which is really just a carrot cake cupcake with a cream cheese icing. Because why not? They're good dogs. If they weren't good dogs, they wouldn't be treated so well. Actually, they would. I would take good care of them no matter what. But the fact that they do behave makes it a lot easier to do little special things for them like that. So I'm surprised nobody has popped in here to aggravate their daddy while he's trying to paint. They're probably all laid out from the meal they had. They are quite full, or at least they should be. I spoke too soon. Here comes my girl. Hi, mamas. What you doing? You gonna try to get over here where they can see you? They can see your floofy tail. Yeah, they can see your floofy tail right now. It's my pretty girl. Yeah. Yeah, my pretty vocal girl, aren't you? You like to start it. Stay out of the garbage just because I dumped paint in there. The paint stick that I stirred up. Okay. This dude has some serious armor on by the looks of it. So we're going to need a little more silver in order to accommodate him. That's probably more silver than I'll need, but hey, paint's paint. Oof. I don't want to get that brass all over my mouse mat. color, he has like a light tan armor. And again, he is a brass color, but I'm not going to make him a brass color because my other Dragonborn is a brass color, so he's going to have to be a different color. So I started watching the series The Witcher on Netflix. Oh, here comes the other pup. And so I am like 4 or 5 episodes into season 1 on that and enjoying it immensely. Don't ask me why I haven't watched it sooner. I can't tell you why. Being a D&D fan. Girl, what are you doing getting into the corner over there? That is like the tightest space your big butt can fit into in my office. Ma'am, what are you doing? You had to hunch that booty up to turn around, girl. She's so funny. Her personality. She's starting to show it more and more. Are you being my silly girl, huh? You being daddy's silly girl tonight? What you hearing, huh? What you hearing, girly? Huh? What you doing, daddy's girl? So we got some spiky armor on this one shoulder. Okay. You had to go extra, didn't you? Being kin to dragon, the Dragonborn have to be a little showy. I would expect nothing less. Your cape is going to be what color? I don't know yet. You know what? I think I am going to stick with the brass, though, for you. I think for the cape, I think we're going to go for black for the cape. I think that'll offset his brass color very nicely. And this dude's got a skull cap too. Okay, let's put him down for a bit. Let's grab us a base coat brush and go to town with some brass again, shall we? Try to get that head nice and brassy looking. Get that chin. Got to get that back side of the head too. All right, we got to get some feet and some hands done here. Let's knock out this hand. And then the other hand is on the inside of the shield. Got it. Let's do some feet. Got to get the back inside of that foot, the sole. Okay, I think I'm content with his hands, feet, and face. We'll have to do his skull cap. Need to do his cape. Got to detail his shield and his tunic. But I'm pretty content with his base right now. Let's circle back and look at his compadre here. You know, I'm almost tempted to do his breeches in a turquoise color, almost like I did the Yon T. I think that's what we're going to go with for his breeches. And then for the other dude, I think we're going to go with that violet purple for his tunic. So let's get some color flowing, shall we? I'm going to close up the brass for now. And then for this other one, let's grab some turquoise. Get some paint going in here. Oh, that needs to be stirred horrendously. Y'all, I've got 2 Huskies laid out behind me. Nope, just one. I thought Carmen was back there too, because she was in here earlier. Here's a tip. Take your coffee stirrers, cut them into little 1.5 inch segments. And if you've got these stupid little paint cups to deal with, they make great paint stirrers. Let's get the back of these breeches. Gotta give him a blue butt. We gotta get the inside of that right leg. These are not your daddy's 501s. Alright, y'all. He is difficult to paint, to say the least. Alright, so we've got his turquoise breeches done. I've got to determine, I think the rest of that is going to be half plate, so we're going to probably touch him with silver. And in the back, we'll probably do black. Let's let him set aside for a bit. I don't need to do anything with turquoise on this other guy. We decided we were going to do the violet purple for his tunic. So let's switch brushes. Actually, let me stir these up a little bit and get some of the paint off of them. Get that cleaned up as much as possible. That way it is clean, clean, clean. Okay. Now, we're going to do the violet for his tunic. So we got here to do, and then here to do. Okay. Whoops. Let's break open the violet, which looks like purple sludge because it's probably a little bit dried out. We'll see how bad here as we stir it up. Consistency may be an issue. Hey girl. Hi, my girly girl. Ladies and gents, Carmen is in the house. Getting lovin's. I see, all you see is probably her tail right behind me. And Rocky's over here on the floor in front of her. Hi, my pretty girl. That's my pretty brown-eyed girl. Oh, you're gonna sit so pretty for your daddy, huh? Huh? You sit so pretty for your daddy. Yeah. You gonna lay down here with little brother? Good girl. Alright. Let's get some purple flying, Oh, this purple is a sticky, gummy mess. And I may have made just my first major mistake of the evening by choosing this paint. Oh, goodness. Well, if I make a mess of it, I will have to go to the hobby shop here in town and get something closely resembling this violet purple to replace it with. But for now, we're going to attempt to make it work. For the lower tunic, we might have pulled it off, but we still got some spots in the back to touch up. And so those are going to require a finer brush than this to do. Kind of stipple that into that as much as I can. Hmm. Hmm. That is some serious maneuvering going on to get that paintbrush in there, y'all. And I think that's as far as I'm going to attempt to take that brush. Alright, let's black his cloak. And then I'm also going to use some black on the dragon emblem on the other fella's shield. So let's get some black paint out. Abyssal black. Shake it. Shake it for all it's worth. Okay. Don't think I want to play with that purple anymore tonight. Alright, I'm going to need two different brushes for this. I'm going to need the a fine point brush for the dragon. And then I'm going to need a wider base coat brush for the other one's cloak. But let's start off with the fine stuff first. And I did mangle it a little bit, so I'll have to come back with some silver and touch that up a little bit, and that's fine. That's what touch up is for. And we will touch it up. Alright, now we did decide his plate armor was going to be silver, so I'm going to have to do that yet. He does have this really fancy big buckle. And I think we're going to do it in black. Okay. Let's switch to a heavier brush and do the other Dragonborn's cloak. Okay, I accidentally got one of his shoulder pads with some black paint on it. Again, we will fix that and touch up. Finishing touches, I can go back and adjust that and clean it up. Yeah, because I do have a couple other silver areas I need to touch up too, so it's not going to hurt anything. His cloak looks magnificent, if I do say so myself. I will fix the shoulder pad that's got a little black on it. And then let's touch up this strap across his wrist here in black. Oh, this is probably too big of a brush. And that worked. Okay. Perfect. Alright, let's put him down for a little while. Let's take a look at the other one. I'll have to fix the silver on his shield a little bit. Actually, I might leave it alone. Alright, let's go talk to the Iron Giant here. I want to give him a black hilt to this big machete he's wielding. And I want to trim the edge at the back edge of the blade with black. There we go, just as an accent color. Alright, and then he has some greaves in his armor that are begging for some accent color. I might take a pen and do some of those touch-ups. Matter of fact, I might take some brass and do some of the accents on that. Let's get a really fine point out here and break out the brass again. Okay. We can always touch that up a little bit as we go. And final cleanup. I like the idea of on his mailed fist doing these knuckles and brass. Because, you know, if you get hit by that big old mailed fist, you're going to feel like you got hit by some brass knuckles. So I thought it was a good choice. But that's just me being extra. You've heard of having glass jaws. Well, we could have a brass jaw. Okay, we're digressing into bad dad jokes tonight. In this case, he's going to have brass kneecaps. And interestingly enough, there's an exposed joint right there. And I've been doing those in brass, so perfect. Okay, there we go. We will touch him up a little bit in final post-production. But he is looking rather dapper, if I say so myself. Excuse me. Okay. Let's circle back to my Dragonborn here. We've got a half plate armor we need to do something with. And really a shield needs to be something done with on him. You know, I think a brass accent on that shield would look fantastic too. But let's do the silver first, because my silver's sitting here drying in the pan. Let's try to get his partial field plate painted, because it's going to be silver in the front and then black in the back. Okay. Let's do the back of his armor in black. And I screwed up his his buckler on the front. Okay. I may leave it like that because it actually doesn't look too terribly bad. Alright, now let's go look at Ginormous Shield here and see what we can do about that. Just thought I was done with the brass tonight, right? Try not to touch the cape because the cape is going to be wet. Okay. I think I like that shield design. I think I'm going to stop there before I screw something up miserably. I think that looks good. And on the inside, where are you going a little bit? Kind of mirror it on the inside a little bit. Kind of give it an accent. Okay, I think that looks really good. Of course, I'm opinionated because it's my work, right? Get that purple off his jaw. Okay. How are his feet looking? His hands are looking good. Just a little touch up around the back of the neck. Alright, do we have any touch up we need to do on this dude? I think we're okay with his hands, feet, and whatnot. I think over here, whoops. I need to touch up the silver on his shoulder pad. Where we glop some black paint. Same thing a little bit lower down here on his breeches. Got a little place I need to touch up. Okay. I think otherwise he's looking good. Let's double check him. Shield arm looks good. Yeah, I think we're okay with him. Let's go take a look at the Iron Giant, because I know there's probably some touch-ups over there to do with the silver. It's actually not too bad. I think we're okay. I think we're gonna roll with it. Okay. Honestly, let's see. push this paint aside for the moment. I'm happy with my Dragonborn. I did not do his skull cap on the second one. Let's see if I have a fine enough brush to pull this off. I think I can. Need a little red in the mouth on these guys. But I think we are pretty much at a good stopping point. I love his shield. It came out really, really well. Let's take a look at him and see. All I did was mess him up. Okay. It actually looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the giant's blade. There we go. Happy little touch up on that accent line. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up painting for the night. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. There's my Iron Golem, aka the Iron Giant. And I'm quite happy with his turnout. And then we did 2 Dragonborn tonight, which I'm going to try to pick up gently. And show them off in as much light as I can. Especially that shield, which I am pleased with the design on. Second Dragonborn. Again with the fancy shield. It's a dragon's head on it. Came out rather well. And then I touched up my elves tonight a little bit, although they all look like they're from House Targaryen. Anyways, I'll be online again Wednesday evening, so come hang out with me. Let me fix my headset so I don't look so cattywampus. And we'll do some world building on Wednesday night. Other than that, thanks for joining in tonight, and have a great rest of your evening.
Mic off. Charging battery.